I don't even got time for no games, no intro, no nothing. We need to dive into the sad truth that hasn't been told to fans about Tejada. Like, his character is literally going nowhere, and it's getting to a point where I think he just might meet his end. And we're gonna talk about it because I know a lot of people still like Kane, but even we have to admit he really doesn't do anything to move the plot forward in a lot of ways. And we're gonna talk about it and dive into it in this video because they try to make his character seem smarter or more deep than what he is, and it fails every time, or they write something into his storyline that just makes it worse. So we're gonna dive into his character, where I see it going, and how I think they could fix it and give him a better storyline in season 4, because I like his character as well, but lately it's missing left and right. So first I want to dive into things in the first 3 seasons, comparisons of Kane, things that happened, took place where it seemed like they were setting up his character, how things could have went, and how they just ultimately failed the character. And then at the end I'll dive into how they could revamp it and give him a big vital role in season 4, just help his character get back in the spotlight, because like I believe they completely ruined him in season 3. And before we start, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and literally comment down below suggestions of any theories or any predictions you want to see for season 4. Leave it all down below in the comments. I'll look at the most interesting ones, see if I can make videos out of them, talk about them. So leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. So first thing first, I want to talk about the comparison between Kane and Kanan. I want to throw this out right now. They are almost nothing alike. All they got that they are alike is they're like soldiers. They're willing to do anything, be in the streets. They're about the game, at the very least. Other than that, Kanan is way smarter, way more of a mastermind, way more meticulous than Kane is. Kane does not plan for shit. People don't remember how much work Kanan put in when he was in jail to get out of jail. How he had plans in effect to kill Ghost, but girl with the pink sneakers missed. That's not his fault. But then he goes with the plan to use Tariq to get close to Ghost, and so on and so forth. We acting like Kanan didn't do a lot of this shit. Whereas Kane, on the other hand, they set him up to have a good storyline like that, a meaningful storyline, but they never execute on it. Like, he gets parts where he kind of figured Mecca was a snitch. He was checking him out, but nothing really goes anywhere for it. For Kane, at least, it's Tariq who finds that out. Or where he kind of sees Salim and like, oh, your name made up. He knows he's lying about who he is, yet he doesn't act on it, and it's Diana who finds that out. Or when he has the feeling that Monet might have had something to do with Lorenzo's murder and questions her, and she just goes off on him, tells him he's not smart, shuts him down, and he just leaves it alone. And then it's Drew and Diana that finds out. Literally, they set him up all these times to give him meaningful plot points and storylines, and then inevitably let other characters deal with it. The only time he did accomplish something is when he found out it was Lorenzo who killed Zeke. And if you go back to my reviews earlier in season 3, episodes 1 through 3, I was saying Kane is my favorite character in the show right now. They're finally giving him all the good storylines. He's about to become a boss, start figuring shit out, and he's gonna make his moves. Literally, all he does with that information is become the head of the family. Like, you cannot be serious. That's all he does with that information. And another thing, Kanan, he has a valid reason to be mad at Ghost. He took away meaningful years from his life. He didn't get to watch his son grow up, but he had meaningful reason for revenge. It all made sense. But for Kane, he absolutely has no reason to hate Tariq, like none at all. Like, I don't see why he hates him. That's his whole personality. Like, bro, give him something else to do. Ghost and Kanan were partners. They were close. Kanan taught Ghost the game, so him setting him up and setting him to jail, they were connected in a way. Kane, once again, has no reason to be so mad at Tariq, and that brings me into my next and second point of this video. He gets manipulated by everyone. Literally anyone in the show, from Effie to Tariq to Diana to Drew to Monet to Brayden, anybody in this show could get Kane to do what they want. He's been manipulated by so many people in so many different ways. It's just funny. Like, they got memes about it all online. Literally, Monet almost convinced him to kill his father Lorenzo just because she told him Tariq killed his father. Like, what type of shit is that? He's so easily manipulated. Or when in season 1 he was driving around with Tariq and Tariq saw Officer Ramirez enter the house and he told him only thing worse than good cops is the dirty cops. That's what he told him, something like that, and gave him the inkling of Kane taking out Ramirez. So, like, he's so easily manipulated, even in this last season where Drew and Diana put a whole plan in place to kill his mother and then just convince him to take out Tariq because he already had that hate for him. So they able to just use him like a piece of meat in any way they want. Like, it's fucking crazy. And once again, I know people love him and his character, but if you take a step back and look at the scope of the show, he doesn't really do anything that leads to anything crazy happening. Like, everyone around him is making all the pieces move. He's just a piece on the chessboard. Even Effie, while she didn't technically manipulate him, he paid for her tuition. They ended up sleeping together. He's been chasing her for multiple seasons, but then she just dubbed his ass. He tried to convince her to snitch in jail and she wouldn't do it. She packed him up, and Monet trying to tell him to take her out, get rid of her. She isn't needed. He's not listening. He's not hearing none of that. Like, you have to go behind his back to get shit done. If you tell him your plans of give him any bit of information directly, he does the exact opposite. So you have to manipulate his character. And if you got this far in this video, I want someone in the comments to tell me, because maybe I forgot, tell me something smart that Kane did that worked out in his favor, where someone else didn't have to clean up his mess. Like, someone else didn't have to get him, them, everyone out that situation. Because he does a lot of dumb shit. The Ramirez shit, he pushed that off on Tariq, and while that does help them, Tariq could have really snitched if he wanted to, but no, he got them out of that situation. Same with him shooting Jabari. Tariq got him out of that situation. Once again, he doesn't really do anything to help his family or anything like that, bro. He fucks shit up. And while that is cool and fun to see as a character, you still want to see a character grow and develop and do other things. It's like his character is going through a revolving door over and over and over again. And that's when we jump into the next section of this video, where I'll talk about how they can improve his character and utilize him better, basically, in season 4. Now, the first thing they could do, and the plan is already in place. So I mentioned how Drew and Diana did the plan behind Kanan's back to kill Monet. Now, in my original prediction, I said I believe, and I still think it will be Monet who discovers it, and she sides with Tariq, and they figure it out, go against her kids, her family, because that just makes more sense, because Monet was the one who shot. But it would be cool if they gave that storyline and plot point to Kane. Like I said, they always give him, I don't want to say these powers, but this feeling of he knows something, or he could figure people out. He could read them and tell something's going on, just like he did with Lorenzo about the Zeke situation, just like he did with Mecca about being a snitch, just like he did with the Salim nigga. So he gets this feeling where he could read people. So I think he should be able to deduct Diana and Drew and understand what really happened. And then we could finally get the Ghost, Tommy, Kanan type group or deal, because to be honest, he was never really on Tariq's side, like, ever. They was always bumping heads. He was trying to find a reason or excuse to kill him, and even when they worked together, they wasn't really working together. Or at the very least, if they don't want to go this route of him working with Tariq or Brayden or whatever, at least they don't want to reveal why he hates Tariq so much. I believe it will be Obi helping Tariq gather information on them, where they're moving products, all this and that. So he has someone in Noma's organization, basically. At least make Kane figure that out, take out Obi. Even though I think I'm gonna fuck with Obi more going into next season, I just want them to give Kane something meaningful to actually do on his own that actually makes sense and doesn't just put consequences on every other character. Move him up, like make him elevate as a character. Don't do the him and Effie shit again. For sure, do not do the him and Effie shit again. He's not a character that works in a relationship, or at least that's what I've seen thus far. We know Noma's daughter is getting introduced in the next season. I think it'll be Tariq's new love interest. A lot of people don't like that. They want Tariq focused, which is understandable. If Kane happens to meet her and that pops off, whatever, let it happen. Just give him something, bro. I want them to give him something new that makes sense, bro. You see, I'm just throwing out ideas here. I still like the Obi situation of him finding out about that, or him finding out about the Drew and Diana shit first and foremost. Like, that's the biggest storylines they could put him in that makes sense. Or, and this is if they just absolutely have nothing or can't figure out anything to do with his character. Literally get Braden or Tariq to kill him off by the end of the season, or have a Drew or Diana, I think it would be more likely Diana, have a plan in place to send him to jail. Give him one of those big moments that matter or something for other characters, because him doing it himself, I guess they just can't write that somehow. So I know a lot of people don't want him to be killed off, but that would cause a lot of consequences and circumstances, especially depending on the person that does it, how it all goes down. It'll set up season 5 and so on and so forth. Or if he gets set up and goes to jail, that would be cool to see as well. Especially if I think, in my head, I see it being like Diana, the type of person to do something like that. Just get him more involved in the story. Don't just have him feel like he's there and everyone's kind of controlling his actions, reactions, his emotions, and all this and that. Make him be a staple. He's a staple in the show, but make him be a staple in the storylines. But overall, that's it for this video. You guys tell me what you think about Kane's character in the first 3 seasons so far. You like it, hate it, love it? Just let me know down below in the comments. Also tell me where you see his character going in season 4, what you see him doing. Do you love what has happened with him thus far? Also, I told you guys you could leave your theories and predictions down below in the comments. I'll do a video on the ones I find the most interesting. So as usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.